So welcome to the next video. So this video we will start a new topic, arrays. We'll get introduced to arrays. What is an array? Why do we need array? And what are different ways in which we can declare an array in C, right? So basically, arrays is what is known as commonly known as a type of data structure. It's a data structure. So data structure is basically what we use to store and manage data. Okay. Effectively store and manage data. So basically, array is a collection of data. If you have, let's say, 10 numbers, all the 10 numbers can be stored together in the form of array. Let's say you have 10 names. All the 10 names can be stored in the same place in an array. Okay, so about names and all will come later. We'll again here also will be using numbers first. So if you want to represent array, you can represent something like this. Let's say, okay. So this we can identify this as a memory location where you can store numbers. Okay, whatever value you can store into array, let's say 20, 30, 40, 50. So these numbers are what are known as elements of an array. Okay, so these are elements. So basically, there are four different numbers. Four different numbers are stored in an array like this, one after another. Each of the number is what is known as an element of an array. Okay. In addition to the element of array, array has what is known as an index. So it starts with 0. So for this array, there are 4 elements, and each element has a number associated with that. Okay. So this is what is known as indices. So for example, the index of number 20 is 0, index of number 30 is 1, index of number 40 is 2, index of number 50 is 3, right? So indices is something which we can always say, it is something like we use to refer to an array. If you want to take 40 from this array, if you want to replace 40 with, let's say, 60, so we will use index for that. Okay. So basically, index is associated with each number, each element of an array. So basically, each element of an array has a corresponding index, and indices start from 0 to n minus 1. If there are n number of elements in an array, the indices start from 0 to n minus 1. Okay. So here, 0th element is 20, first element is 30, second element is 40, third element is 50. There are 4 elements, 4 indices. Our indices start from 0 and it ends in n minus 1. Okay. So with this basic understanding, we'll go ahead and start with learning arrays. Right. So how do we declare array? We can declare array in 3 ways. Type 1, declaration 1. So let's say integer. Integer, any name you can give. Array 1. Open a square bracket, close a square bracket, and equal to, open a brace, close a brace, feed your numbers. Let's say here we are used 20, 30, 40, 50. It's the same thing, 20 with comma, 40, 50. So each elements are separated by a comma. Okay. So array, you have to remember, this is a data type. All the elements in an array should be of integer now. So this is integer. All should be integer. If it is a float array, all elements should be a float, right? So this is one way of declaring. You're declaring int array, opening a square bracket, closing a square bracket. It is telling that it is an array, and we have to store these numbers in an array, right? The second type of declaration is, so the first type what we are seeing is, it is declared an array, it is also assigned values to different location, different elements in an array. So this is the first element, second element. So rather I should say this is the 0th element, first element, second element, and third element. So totally we have 4 elements. Second type is you can actually specify what is the size of an array. So let's say I call this array 2. There are 4 elements. So size of the array is 4. Okay. Again, I can store same numbers 20, 30, 40, 50. So this is a different array. Sorry, I have to use semicolon. So this is another way of declaration. You can specify how many elements are there. Okay. Again, you have to remember the index of this element is 0, 1, 2, and 3. Index will go on like this. But there are 1, 2, 3, 4 elements. Okay. Here I have not specified the size. The program will automatically see how many elements are there and assign that much spaces to that. So 4 means we have to allocate 4 locations to save 4 elements. Okay. Here locations are automatically set. Now we also have declaration. Let's say 3. So it is very simple declaration. Int array 3 of 4 elements. Okay, so this is also valid. So basically these two declarations, the first declaration and the second declaration, basically we have declared an array and assigned value to the elements. Here we have just declared the array. So that means there will be 4 spaces in memory which is created and it will be ready to accept numbers, right? So this is how we declare an array. Now let's say I want to get a number from the array or change a certain number in an array. How do I do that? Okay, so that we will see in the next video.